Welcome. In front of me I have the brand new Xiaomi 11T Pro, and today I'll go over unboxing along with a quick overview of this device with some specs of it, obviously. So anyway, let's just pop it open. There is no like neat pull tab like we have on Apple devices, so that's a little bit of a shame. So I have a little knife right here to pop it open. There we go. Just rip that off. Eat that to the side, and we also have some little Xiaomi stickers right here to show that it's basically brand new, hasn't been opened. So I'm just gonna cut these, there we go, and now I can get into it. So nothing on the top of the box. Then in here we get paperwork and probably a case. Yep, and there's a case. No one cares about the paperwork, so I'm just gonna leave it in here. I'm gonna take out the case. Then we get the phone itself. Okay, take it out without actually needing to rip it off. Nope. Okay, anyway. Now, I do have to mention right before I get started, this box is probably one of the heaviest boxes I had, and I assume it has to do something with this hilarious brick. Yeah, this thing has some heft to it. So obviously there's also cable for it, but as you've probably seen, this is an 120 watt charger. And if you watched their press conference, or whatever you want to call it, where they introduced their new chargers, I remember I found it really funny because they were kind of like saying, oh, we don't call our charging fast charging, we call it Xiaomi super charging something something. It was just kind of like way too many words for such a simple feature of just charging at a faster rate. But yeah, as you can see, the brick is absolutely huge right here, and the back looks like it's plastic. I guess that kind of explains why the phone is at a lower price than I would have expected it. I also have a triple camera setup at the back, and let me just power it on so we can see the front. Obviously the screen at the front is just a flat display. It's not curved in any way, as you can see. Personally, I prefer to have my screens curved, and that's just kind of how I like it. This one has just like some sharp edges right here because it is, honestly, it seems like it's made on a budget with premium components in a way, because the phone is running a Snapdragon 888. It has an AMOLED display, but as you can see, it is in a plastic body basically. So they did some cost cutting to actually approach this like $600, $700 price range that they have right here. Let's see exactly, because I don't remember exactly how much was it. It is $660. So yeah, this thing is absolutely dirt cheap considering what it offers. So I'm gonna quickly go through the setup, and while I'm doing that, I'm also gonna go over the specs of it. So the screen right here that you're looking at is a 6.67 inch display. It's a 1080p by 2400 AMOLED Dolby Vision display, and it apparently boasts a 1 billion colors right here. So whoopsie-doo, I probably won't see that, the actual like benefit of more colors. So yeah, it says that it has it. I guess I'm just gonna have to believe it. Additionally, it has a 120 Hz refresh rate. It has HDR10 Plus, obviously, because of that AMOLED display. Peaks at about 1000 nits brightness, and at the front we have a Gorilla Glass Victus as a screen or glass itself. So that's basically all we get about this screen itself. And then if we move over to the camera setup, while this is loading, we have triple camera setup, as you've already seen. So we have a main sensor, which is a 108 megapixel wide sensor. Then we got an 8 megapixel ultra wide and 5 megapixel telephoto / macro lens. So it looks like it doubles as both. So the camera setup here is quite nice. And at the front we have a 16 megapixel wide. Now when it comes down to video shooting, right here with the back sensors, you can shoot at actually 8K, which is kind of mind-blowing at that point right now. So yeah, 8K at 30 frames, and if you drop it to 4K, you basically get 30 and 60 frames. And if you drop it to 1080p, you get basically everything that you possibly can. 30, 60, 120. I believe 120 is just a normal recording, but then if we go to 240, that's slow motion, and 960, obviously slow motion. And this is still loading apps. So I'm gonna keep on going. Like I mentioned before, Snapdragon 888. There is 2 versions of this device, which I have right here. Which one do I actually have? This one is the 8GB with 256 gigs storage. So this is the mid-range basically, because we have 128 as a base, 128GB storage with 8GB of RAM, and you can boost it up to 256. And then if you want, you can also keep the 256 and also get 12 gigs of RAM. But with 12 gigs of RAM, there is only one storage, which is the 256. For 120 and 128 and 256, you have 8GB. Just for 256, you have 12. There we go. It actually finally loaded. Let's swipe. Oh, it looks like now every phone does the same thing as iOS does. Okay. As you can see, if you swipe from right side, you get the toggles, and if you swipe from the other side, you get the notifications. Okay. Not necessarily the biggest fan of copying Apple, but oh well, it seems to work, so I guess that's good. So anyway, moving on to the with the storage. Basically all the storages right here are running a UFS 3.1 storage, so you should get basically almost the best storage speeds you possibly can on a phone, only beaten by Apple. And lastly, battery right here is 5000 milliamp hour battery, and obviously we have that whopping 120 watt brick. So yeah, and that should give you what they claim 100% in 17 minutes. Jesus, that is insane, to be honest. In 17 minutes you can charge from nothing to 100%. That is crazy. Anyway, let's actually I'm gonna also mention one additional thing, which I kind of didn't, but it is, in my opinion, quite important. This is a $660 phone, which comes with basically top specs and a freaking charger, and not a like puny crappy ass charger like Samsung includes, or Apple. Wait, whoa, they don't include chargers anymore, but when they did, these chargers paled in comparison what you get right here. This is 120 watts. This thing blows any charger out of the water, and it comes with the device included in the price, and it comes cheaper than any other device. Okay, why is no one else doing that? Everybody's so greedy for money apparently. Oh well. But anyway, concluding this in a way, obviously the phone is in a middle spot. It is a flagship in a way, but with budget components, as again, cast coating. So plastic, basically everything that they possibly could apart from the screen. Apparently it does have aluminum frame, though to be fair, this doesn't really seem like an aluminum frame. Oh no, it is actually, my bad. Yeah, that is aluminum frame. So we have aluminum frame. It looks like plastic back. It says that it's glass, but let me just kind of get something metal as an example. No, that actually is glass. Okay, so I was actually wrong about it. So this device isn't necessarily the budget of flagships. This is actually a fairly decent device. Now I will be honest, I don't really like the back. It looks kind of cheap and cheesy. Kind of like it's straight out of like 2010. So it not the best look. Glass with this kind of like brushed aluminum look to it, because it's kind of how it looks like. So yeah, I'm not exactly a fan of this, but other than that, the device basically is just freaking amazing. Really amazing specs, basically top of the line, decent, basically one of the best storages with UFS 3.1, decent storage sizes right here, most likely expandable using an SD card. I'm gonna quickly check that because I actually haven't. Or is it? Oh, I actually might be wrong about the expandable storage. Yep, I am wrong about the expandable storage. So we don't have expandable storage here, unfortunately. Now it's a little bit of a shame. But still, for the price that this comes in, I can't really think about anything else that would beat this device. Obviously, most likely the cameras here won't outperform things like Xiaomi or Huawei, but these are still decent cameras. And for the price that you pay, this phone is, I think, unbeatable at the moment. Like, the value that you get here is just right at the top. There is basically nothing better for the value that you pay. 120 watt charger, Snapdragon 888, decent camera, amazing display. The only thing that it lacks in that price range, or well, not really in that price range, but in like the features, is just an under display fingerprint sensor, because it is side mounted instead. But other than that, this phone is just smashing it. Damn, this is a really amazing phone. So yeah, highly recommend it if you're looking for a really good device. Amazing value. And that being said, if you found this very helpful, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and thanks for watching.